Welcome back, guys. It's Hybrid Spectre. Today I'm going to be talking about the Reckoning, and I'm going to rant here for a little bit here because I've got a lot to say about this, and none of it's good. So, to bring you guys up to speed, for those of you who quit Destiny or just don't care enough to even play it, the Reckoning is the new Horde mode that came with Season of the Drifter. It's got 3 different tiers: Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Tier 1 being the absolute easiest, Tier 3 being the absolute hardest, but ultimately the difficulty of that doesn't matter because it ultimately depends on how competent your teammates are. Which leads me to my first point here about the Reckoning. The Reckoning is a matchmaking activity, which is an issue in itself. Because here's the thing. If you want to force matchmaking down my throat, fine. But you better have some kind of system in place that's going to match me up with people who aren't completely stupid. The footage that you're looking at right here, my teammates are literally dumber than rocks. If you could pick up a rock off the ground outside, that rock would have more intelligence than these blueberries that I'm paired up with right now. So that's the problem with that's one of the problems that I have with the Reckoning, is that the matchmaking pairs you up with so many stupid people that most of them don't even know what to do, and if they fail, then they'll just quit out. They'll just quit out and leave us hanging, and then once someone quits out, you don't really want to do this. You don't really want to wait for matchmaking to throw in another person, because God only knows how long that will take. But so you're more incentivized to quit out after you fail, because 9 times out of 10, everyone's gonna leave anyway. And you're gonna see some footage of the Bridge of Folly part here, which is probably the most infuriating part of this whole thing. But the point I want to get to here is that the matchmaking sucks. It absolutely sucks. 9 times out of 10, I am placed in a game that's already started. There's either one person there because the other 2 people quit out, or there's 2 people there that are still champing it out, which I don't know why, after 2 of their people quit out. If you're lucky, you can pull yourself back from the brink and actually get to the Bridge of Folly, but depending on how good your teammates are, you may not even make it past the Bridge of Folly. The next issue that I have with the Reckoning is the timer. Now look, I get that they want to make this challenging. It wouldn't be challenging if there wasn't some kind of challenge aspect to it. But if you want to implement a timer, fine. But with the way this is, I honestly don't think 5 minutes is enough to really get through this part. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's more than enough. But the thing is, depending on how smart your teammates are, which 9 times out of 10, they're stupid. If anything, the timer aspect should have to be removed altogether. Why should we have to be timed to take out a horde of enemies? Just take away the timer, let the dominance decrease just a little bit faster. So while we're not forced under a clock the whole time, the way it should be done is that with no timer, have the dominance just reduce a lot quicker. So just remove the timer part. So that's the first part of the Reckoning that I want to get out of the way. The second part here is the Bridge of Folly. Now, this part only exists in Tier 2 and Tier 3 of the Reckoning. Now, in the footage that you're looking at here, I was unfortunately paired up with boneheaded teammates. And you'll see why in a second, but here's the Bridge of Folly here. If you look in the top left-hand corner of the screen there, you'll see that there's another timer under there, and 0 out of 6. You have to capture 6 zones on this within the allotted time. You get 50 seconds during the first one. After that, you get like 40 seconds. And right here, you see that my teammates didn't follow me up, and I was left all alone up there. And the thing is, this part here is so open. You see all those balconies out there? There are these snipers that will snipe you. And that is infuriating, especially if it's solar burn or void burn, and you have the fallen vandals, the taken fallen vandals, or the taken hobgoblins. Now that's annoying. Now as you can see here, I'm struggling to keep my head above water here because I'm getting overwhelmed, but because my teammates just hung around at the first plate there and they didn't follow me up. So we ended up failing this. So my point being is that matchmaking sucks, teammates are stupid, and the Bridge of Folly is equally terrible. So as you can see, I got a little upset there, and I start shooting at my teammates, and they in turn get a little upset with me. But the frustrating thing was that I was the only one who knew what I was doing, and yet they have the audacity to get upset with me because we failed it, but they didn't help me out. So, ways to fix Reckoning? Get rid of the timers, get rid of matchmaking. Like just make it one of those activities where you have to find a team in order to do, because quite frankly there's so high risk for so little reward in this game mode. It's probably the worst game mode in the annual pass. Like the forges were tedious and annoying, but this is just downright frustrating. Because you got matchmaking on top of that, you got people that you'll be put into a game of progress that will auto-fail anyway. It's just retarded. It's just retarded. And even if you make it to the boss is so hard, and coupled with the complete incompetence of your teammates, there's no way you're guaranteed anything. Not to mention the loot from this is rather abysmal. Now, don't get me wrong, the drifter weapons look cool. And some of them actually are. But here's the thing, I've only gotten a handful of them. The problem with that is that the drop rate for them is so pathetically low, and that you only have a chance of getting it if you succeed, and if the success rate for this is so damn low that you can't even that you get literally nothing through all that pain and frustration, it pretty much defeats the purpose of even doing it at all. The main reason for doing this is just to get the Gambit Prime armors. The Reaper, the Sentinel, the Collector, and the Invader sets. That's the main reason for doing this. But the thing is that if you want to throw weapons in the mix, you better have ways for us to get them a lot easier. Because quite frankly, armor's not really much my thing. I'll mix and match stuff all the time. But guns are my thing. And I want a lot of these drifter guns. Thing is, I can't get them because I have to do the Reckoning, and the Reckoning completely sucks. So, that's my rant about the Reckoning. How can we fix it? Well, we can start by getting rid of the matchmaking, which I've said already. Get rid of the matchmaking. Make it an activity that you need to find a team for. That may piss off a lot of people, but the thing is that Bungie said that they want Bungie to be a lot more hardcore now. Fine. Then you can start by getting rid of the matchmaking. Stop catering to people who don't know what they're doing. Because for players like myself, I want to do this, but I can't because the matchmaking and the complete incompetence of my teammates doesn't work. It just doesn't. It's frustrating enough that I gotta deal with blueberries enough as it is because they all suck. All my friends quit Destiny, and I hate making new friends, so I'm stuck. So I'm mainly a solo player. And as a solo player, I have to deal with this crap. So, get rid of the matchmaking, get rid of the timers, or at least shorten the Bridge of Folly. Or, shorten the Bridge of Folly to, maybe, if it's Tier 2, make it 4. Make it 4 or 5. Something reasonable, but 6 on Tier 2 and Tier 3, that's irritating. If it's Tier 2, and we're given a lot more time, make it 5. Make it 5 platforms that we have to go through on the Bridge of Folly. And on Tier 3, make it 6. Because that's a lot more reasonable. Also, buff the drop rates for the guns already, for God's sakes. Buff the drop rates. Buff the drop rates for the guns, because I want the pulse rifle. Just give me the pulse rifle. A lot of people tell me it sucks, but I like pulse rifles. Anyway. So, that's my rant about the Reckoning. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about the Reckoning and how it should be fixed. But this is what I think should be fixed about it. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.